Hello everybody, and welcome to WCW Tuesday Night Ignition. First episode went really well, where we began the rebirth of WCW under the leadership of Mick Foley. First show I thought was a huge success based on what the ratings gave me, as well as the way the storylines and roster is playing out. So, without further ado, let's get into episode number 2. So, we have our first pre-show match, pretty sure the only one. In a terrible pre-show match, La Resistance defeats Mexicools in 8:30 when Rene Dupree defeats Psychosis by pinfall with a Dupree driver. Quite simple here, I'm just trying to get these two tag teams a little bit more exposure, trying to get them a little bit better at the performances as best as I could. So let's see what we have here. Super Crazy sustained a hyperextended elbow. That sounds terrible. Psychosis was off his game. Sylvain Garnier was off his game. So Rene Dupree was off his game. And Psychosis with 31, Super Crazy at 32. Rene Dupree at 27 and Grenier with 24. Worker improvements, Dupree in technical and Dupree in performance. Not much really going on here, but, I figured why not get these guys some exposure. So, 32, not good, but I'll take it for a pre-show. And Super Crazy sustained a hyperextended elbow. Thank you, D'Lo. Up in another pre-show match, it's going to be in a pre-show bout that had subpar wrestling and little heat. Nick Jackson defeats Amazing Red in 7:55 with a 450 splash. Amazing Red and Nick Jackson had pretty good chemistry and lifted the match. Amazing Red got 31, Nick Jackson got 52. Perfect. So my main idea here is kind of develop Amazing Red on the pre-show by facing guys who are established or really good in the ring to try to build his in-ring performance up a little bit. So that was kind of the thought process here, plus Nick Jackson didn't have a match, so I felt like putting him in the spot would work. No work improvements. That's unfortunate. Alright, we have a video recap here of last week. Bobby Roode, Cody Rhodes, RVD, and Stu Sanders. The chaos that happened at the end of last week's show, where all four men were attacking each other more or less, and Bobby Roode stood tall, and no work improvements there. 62 rating. I was hoping that'd be a little bit higher, but can't win them all. Alright, so Mick Foley comes down to the ring, and he says, "Welcome to WCW Ignition. After last week's outstanding showing of support, I'm here to first say thank you. Next, I would like to say tonight we will see 2 more tag team qualifiers for the Tag Team Turmoil, and we will see the final 4 of the WCW title tournament. Now, I also have some other matters to discuss, and that is next week we will be seeing some new stars coming into the fold of WCW, because I'm all about opportunity. Since I'm on a roll with championships, next week not only will we crown our first WCW champion and WCW Tag Team champions, we'll also have a 6-man scramble to crown the first WCW United States champion. So we have now established what our mid-card championship would be. I felt like going with the original name was the best case scenario here. So next week, 6-man scramble. I'm not going to announce the 6 men that are in it tonight, but for sure 6 men who are in the match I feel will all be reasonable choices for the opportunity, as well as guys who will fit the mold to possibly be the first United States champion. So Mick Foley got 81 on that one. Deserve better announcing, yada yada yada. Mick Foley's better at his gimmick. I sure hope he's getting better at being a legend. And this angle got the crowd hotter, so that's good. No improvements. So in our first match on the card, we have our tag team qualifier. And about that had subpar wrestling and little heat, Kendrick and London beat All Night Express in 8:06, and Brian Kendrick defeat Wright Titus and by pinfall with sliced bread number 2. Paul London has debuted his show stealer cool gimmick on average. Wright Titus got his cocky, got awful. Kenny King got cocky for poor. That's disappointing. Brian Kendrick and Paul London have great chemistry when teaming together. Obviously, they're so great together. Paul London got a 51, Kendrick got a 60, and then Kenny King a 34, and Titus a 30. Kendrick and London are awesome. I loved their work when they were on WWE Raw and SmackDown as tag team champions. So I felt the need to bring them back together here. And their ratings will not disappoint, I feel, just from seeing this. Even though the All-Night Express was slightly disappointing, they still carried the matchup. For improvements, Titus in Rumble and performance, which is good, and London in technical and performance. So, guys are improving, which is good, and a 47 rating out of that. Alright, so Bobby Roode cuts a promo on his opponent tonight, Cody Rhodes, talking about how, he's the chosen one. Cody Rhodes has had a silver spoon mentality since he's entered wrestling, from his father being Dusty Rhodes to his brother being Dustin Rhodes. Things have just been handed to Cody Rhodes his whole life, whereas Bobby Roode has not. He has had to fight for everything that he has gotten, and tonight is no different, as he says he will defeat Cody Rhodes tonight and move on to the finals of the WCW Championship Tournament. 56 out of Bobby Roode, and no improvements. Alright, we get a new debut for both men here. And about that, subpar wrestling in Little Heat, Rhino defeats Matt Bentley in 5:43 with a gore. Rhino has debuted his Man Beast gimmick, as he never leaves that gimmick. He has got an initial rating of very good, and Matt Bentley, old school heel, average. Rhino got a 59, and Matt Bentley got a 19. So it's a simple squash, get over match here. I wanted to debut Rhino big and make him look important, which is the goal. I don't know exactly the plans for Rhino yet, but certainly a guy who's very key in potential storylines as well as championships. And even though at 40 years old, WWE doesn't use him in the greatest situation, I mean, him teaming with Slater is cool and all, but I would use him in a different way, at least in this. So, look forward to that. And I got a 42, so for a squash, I will take that. Now we are backstage with the Rhodes family here, talking about the opponent tonight, Bobby Roode, and hearing his comments. As Cody Rhodes smiles towards the comments from Bobby Roode, talking with his wife Brandy, they are discussing how the plans are tonight when they defeat Bobby Roode and moving on to the championship final. Cody Rhodes and Brandy, as much as I kind of didn't want to put them together, even though they're obviously married and whatnot, and let Cody Rhodes be himself, I felt it was kind of necessary to put them together and see what happens. So tonight, Cody Rhodes and Brandy in his corner will face Bobby Roode. And advance the storyline, and no improvements. Alright, in a decent matchup, Bobby Roode defeats Cody Rhodes in 14:44 by submission with a crossface after blatantly cheating. Bobby Roode and Cody Rhodes don't seem to click, which is very disappointing. Bobby Roode with a 52, Cody Rhodes with a 51, and the storyline has advanced. So Bobby Roode, after cheating, will move on to the finals of the WCW Championship Tournament. For improvements, Cody Rhodes is improving in Rumble skills, so not great, but it's a positive. The reason I wanted Bobby Roode to kind of go over on Rhodes but not fully go over him cleanly was I wanted to keep the illusion that Bobby Roode having to cheat to beat Rhodes. And at this point, there's no reason to have Rhodes lose clean yet, considering we're in the second show of WCW. So, that's my thought process there. 51. A little disappointing, but I'm pretty sure I had this under storytelling just to be safe. And after the match, Bobby Roode, being the glorious self that he is, celebrates way over the top as a heel, and the crowd is hating him for it. Which is great, because I want the crowd to hate him so much. And a rating of 60, so that's very good. Thank you, Bobby Roode. A recap video of the Motor City Machine Guns defeating La Resistance last week. Just a quick little recap there, as we saw them defeat them. Same thing here. Video recaps the Young Bucks defeating the Mexicools. So just kind of going back to last week, just showing what happened so far. And about that terrible wrestling and non-existent crowd heat. Oh, that's always a good start. The Killer Elite Squad defeated Grandmaster Sexay and Scotty 2 Hotty in 6:48 when Harry Smith defeated Scotty 2 Hotty with a killer bomb. Harry Smith, cocky, got average. Lance Hoyt, badass, got below average. Grandmaster Sexay and Scotty, I'm not worried about. Hoyt with 32, Smith with 35. And storyline has advanced. Any improvements? Harry Smith in Rumble and Sexay in Rumble. Well, it doesn't matter. That's very disappointing by the Killer Elite Squad, but they have advanced to Turmoil next week. So, we brought back a Attitude Era tag team just to kind of have another veteran tag team in this mix, but don't expect them to see them long, as you will see right now. Oh my gosh. Killer Elite Squad destroyed Grandmaster Sexay and Sky 2 Hotty, putting them both through tables. So it was good while it lasted for the Too Cool reunion, but that is already done with. So Killer Elite Squad have taken out the trash, in their words, taking out Too Cool. We get a promo here from Stu Sanders talking about his opponent Rob Van Dam tonight, and clearly saying that he is the better man and that he is well-deserved a championship opportunity next week against Bobby Roode in a match that he says will easily main event any pay-per-view, him and Bobby Roode. But tonight, Rob Van Dam, you're just in the wrong place at the wrong time, and I cannot let you be the one to stop me on my run for the WCW Championship. So, and Stu Sanders improvised well, and the storyline has advanced. 69 rating, I'll take that. We get a singles match here. And about that, decent wrestling, but didn't have much heat. Roderick Strong defeats Mr. Anderson, 9:22 by pinfall with a CX-02. Mr. Anderson with a 47, Roderick Strong with a 58. Just a quick little match here. Some work improvements? None. That's disappointing. But I thought this would be an easy match for Roderick Strong to go over, and a good feature for Mr. Anderson. Post-match, Aaron Stevens attacks Roderick Strong, leaving him laying. So, Mr. Anderson lost Roderick Strong, and Aaron Stevens, formerly known as Damian Sandow, attacking Roderick Strong. As Aaron Stevens is walking out back fuming, he cuts a promo on Roderick Strong explaining his actions on why he attacked him, and he clearly states, "I am done waiting, and I felt disrespected last week, and I'm sick and tired of these indie darlings trying to take over the main promotions." So, clearly Aaron Stevens does not like Roderick Strong or anybody else that has come from the independents, but still no reason for him to attack Roderick, but we'll see where that goes from here. And work improvements, we have none. We have a promo here from MVP talking about how he felt disrespected by Mick Foley, leaving him out of the tournament for the WCW Championship. Just going on and complaining about how Mick Foley does not see the greater good from MVP. Mick Foley interrupts and tells MVP to stop whining and complaining and that they had no hard feelings, and tonight he will go one-on-one with Chris Hero. And we get to an extremely short match. Chris Hero defeats MVP in 4:51 when MVP just walks out. MVP with a 56 and Chris Hero with a 47. As this is more or less the beginning of MVP's bad boy situation against WCW. And Chris Hero is improving technical, which is awesome. And in the main event, in a decent match, RVD defeats Stu Sanders in 12:24 by pinfall with a 5-star frog splash. Both getting better. RVD with a 50, Stu Sanders with a 58. No work improvements. And storyline event. So next week, as we have a confrontation between Bobby Roode and RVD. The main event of next week for the WCW Championship. Bobby Roode versus Rob Van Dam. 57. And we get a 57 overall rating. General feelings that WCW doesn't have enough storylines going on, and it lost its popularity in 18 regions. Well, that is expected for now. But I'm going to sign off right now, and until next time, where we crown all 3 champions for the first time in WCW, I will see you then.